Hello and welcome to this, my quick run through of how I've got my DJ set up. I'm using a number of Max for Live devices available from Isotonic Studios, along with the Launch Control XL. I've also got the LaunchPad Pro and I've got the LaunchPad S, all wired into the audio hub 2x4, which then feeds into my MacBook. Obviously only a couple of USB ports on the MacBook, so having a decent audio hub is an essential part. I'd usually have the outputs going into my speakers, but for this demonstration I've got my headphones plugged into the MacBook. Let's kick things off. Let's go to the top. Lovely. So how I have mine set up, I have basically 4 tracks here which are individual clips, and those 4 tracks also have our follow device on. So when a clip meets its natural end and it's not set to looping, it will automatically trigger the next clip below it. This means I can quickly split whole tracks up into phrases effectively and be able to mix, bringing things in by spending more time on the creative side of things. In addition, I've got a track of one-shots, a track of vocal loops, some full acapellas, and some audio loops as well. Let's have a look on this first track. On this first track, as well as a set of DJ effects tracks, from beat repeats to EQ and other mangling possibilities from the Perform module Uno Plus range, I've got follow 3.1.9.8 set to clip rather than triggering scene follow actions. It's also working at the clip end. You could also set it to bypass looping, in which case you could define how many times you want that clip to loop before it moves on to the next one. The time setting allows you to work with unwarped clips and have follow actions work on those. And the clip stop action is designed for work with dummy clips. So when a clip that you're playing finishes, whether you stop it or it comes to a natural end, you can trigger a reset clip that will take all your parameters back to the original part. The second device that we've got on this track is the LaunchSync PRO XL. What that does is it brings up to 6 control surfaces together and links them. The Launch Control XL is actually set up with our XXL remote script from Isotonic Studios, and you can see on the screen there it's got a 1x8 green clip box, but when I move, the blue is the LaunchPad Pro. You'll see it move first, and then the Launch Control and the Launchpad will move with it. If I show you that with Session on the Launchpad, it's an identical copy of the LaunchPad Pro with layout, and you can see the RGB colours are a great benefit over just having the green for play, yellow for existing and red for record. I'm going to come back to that device in a second. Switch to user 1 mode on here, and you'll notice I've got a couple of lights lit up. Now that's because on the master track I've got the Octo Looper, which I'll show you in a moment, but controls the looping of all 8 tracks within the clip launch rectangle. Allows me to toggle loops on and off, move them forwards, backwards, double halve them. Also allows me to set them of a predetermined size. It's this little thing that's pretty cool. You'll know that if I use the scene launch button, I'm going to launch everything in that scene. Unfortunately, that means I'm going to be launching some vocal clips and stuff like that I don't want. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch with the Exclude device, and this is set up to read MIDI. So if I bring in the baby clip that's on 2, if you'll notice as I press this button, it will launch the scene, but only for tracks 1, 2, 3 and 4. It will exclude tracks 5, 6, 7 and 8. So allow me to bring things in nicely. Now there's a version of this device, Exclude, specifically for the APC-40 Mark II, for the Ableton Push and for the LaunchPad Pro. For any other devices that have ring focus boxes, you can use the MIDI version, drop it on their MIDI track of its own and send it signals from your MIDI controller. Just going to go back to this track now. Now the Launch Control XL script has user mode 6, and what user mode 6 allows me to do is actually to work with all of the potentiometers on the device and map them to all of the controls of the currently selected device, which in this case is the LaunchSync Pro. I can move my focus around, and as you see there's only 4 exposed in the first bank. Standard rack you've got the 8, but here I've exposed banks of 24 at a time, and they are here in the encoder section. And in the first bank I've got the bass, mid and treble. So if I just show you that, I can take the bass down on the first track and then on the second track as well. So I'm now bassless effectively. If I just take every other one down, when I move the ring focus box to the right, you'll see that all the values update, and I'm now controlling tracks 2 through to 9. So the mappings that you make also move with the controller. If I show you the second bank, we've given 4. Move up a bank, the colours change, and in here I've got high pass, etc. In the third bank, I've got what we call our blobify, which is really nice to use with vocals and the like. And in the fourth bank, we've got some degradation stuff. We'll show you how those are really easily mapped in a future version. If we go and have a look at the master now, as you can see, track 1 is set to loop and track 2 is effectively set to loop. And I've got all of that MIDI mapped on this grid here, with the top setting the loops on and off, the next 3 rows setting a 32 or a 16, there we go, 16 beat or an 8 beat. I can then move it forwards or backwards, double or halve it. As you can see on track 2, we're stuck in the loop there. So we'll take that out. And of course we can keep moving down the set. I should also point out I've MIDI mapped these buttons here, so I can automatically move the master as well, and that's done in the LaunchSync Pro XL with the control. Now I could either type in these boxes here or use the left and right buttons, and I can choose to move in one cell at a time or in a bank, so 8 by 8 effectively. We'll be doing individual walkthrough videos for the devices within this set. You'll find more details at www.isotonicstudios.com. And we've debuted here the LaunchSync PRO XL, the Exclude and the OctoLooper devices, which form part of our brand new series. Thanks for watching.